Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. Welcome to the Morning Photography Show with your host, yours truly, Terry White. So today is one of my first streams. I think it's my first stream, one of my first streams since Max. So thanks for people that joined us at Max. Thanks for people that watched the keynote and watched my videos that I posted. And thanks for hanging out with us at Max, especially if you were there in attendance and you came up and said hello, and hopefully we took a picture and all that good stuff. All right, what are we doing today? Today is I do two shows occasionally. I do the morning photography show, which is usually about more photography stuff, shooting, camera settings, lighting, things like that. And then we also do my photography masterclass, which I don't think I have another one coming up until December, but we may squeeze one in along the way in November, somewhere along the way. But that one is coming up, I know for a fact, on December 6th. But like I said, there may be one in between now and then, because I don't want to go a whole month without streaming again. So with that said, today we're going to have a little fun. It's going to be a casual thing. We're just going to give you some ideas about how you might want to shoot your holiday greeting or put together a holiday greeting. And I'm going to do something I don't normally do. I'm going to be in front of the camera a little bit today, and I'm normally the one behind the camera. But I am going to do a self-portrait, and we're going to try and work that into the shot, and we're going to try and by the way, none of this is practiced and rehearsed and tested. So we're going to make some good mistakes. We're going to make some bad mistakes along the way. But hopefully we're going to get some good things out of today. And if nothing else, we're going to show you how to just give you some thought process on how you might want to put together your greeting. We'll also pop into, of course, Lightroom and Photoshop, and hopefully Adobe Express as well, to kind of maybe put it all together, put some text in it. Maybe Firefly will generate some text, nice holiday text based on a holiday theme to put on the greeting. So we're going to do lots of different things today, and I've got 52 minutes left to do that, so let's go ahead and jump in. I see a bunch of people on the chat already. Hello, my cousin Salima's in the chat. Hello, Salima. But anyway, I see Maple Glades. I see Rita. I see, that was over on Facebook and YouTube. I see Robert over on Adobe Live. Jan, Cody Bear, a moderator, General Kenobi. Reverb Mike, and I saw earlier, I know I saw someone earlier. Let me scroll back. I wanted to say hello. Where is he? Where's Nicholas? There you are. I know I saw you earlier. Okay, so a bunch of people coming in from all over the world to watch this. I couldn't be happier. Thank you for joining me today live. And let's talk a little bit about the shoot and the setup. So let me switch over to the studio shot. So, ooh, that's out of focus. What's going on there? All right. So studio, I don't know what that's focusing on. That's weird. Okay, that's one of those happy mistakes right there. But that's what the studio looks like. Just a white backdrop. And that camera's doing some weird stuff. All right, white backdrop. I've got two lights, two strip banks on the sides. I don't think I'm going to be using those today. I think I'm just going to be using one main light. Let's keep the hand down there, keep it in focus. One main light up there, and that's the light that I'll light myself. And also I'm going to light the holiday scene, which is over there in the corner. So if you look to my right, over there is a replica surface table in Victoria style, that shoot. We're going to use that for our background. So we're going to do like a miniature shoot me, composite me onto that background, hopefully, and see how that all works. And I have no idea if it's going to work. We're just going to test it out and see it as we go. So that's the studio. Let me go ahead and switch back over to me. And I've got my, let's see, can you see it? Yeah, I got my Nikon camera here, my Z8. I've got an HDMI cable coming out so you can see the camera settings. I've got my tethering cable coming out from the great folks at Area 51 Tether, so that will go straight into Lightroom Classic. I've got my FJ Westcott trigger, the X3M trigger, which is my favorite new trigger that they fixed my main issue with. And I'm using, of course, my Westcott FJ400 strobe, which is mounted on a wall mount that's new up there. All right, So let's get it all turned on. I'm going to walk over and turn on the light. Let's get that fired up. All right, main light's on. I'm then going to go ahead and turn on the trigger for it. All right, so that will activate the modeling light as well. And again, yeah, I don't know how well you can see that lit up, but the modeling light is on, so it's a little bit brighter back there. But anyway, it'll be nice and bright when we take the picture. Okay, camera's now on. And with the camera on, I'm going to switch over to the desktop. And let's get well, before I switch over, let me get Lightroom launched. So I'm doing this in Lightroom Classic because in Lightroom Classic, you can tether. In Lightroom, some of you refer to as the cloud version on desktop, you cannot tether. So there's a difference. There's a reason why I use one versus the other. All right, so let's switch over to the desktop. There you go. You can see Lightroom Classic. And now we'll just go ahead and go up to the File menu. And we're going to come down to Tether Capture, Start Tether Capture. There we go. And this is a thing because I'm on an M1 Mac or an Apple Silicon Mac. Tethering is not native to the M1 chip. The rest of Lightroom is, but the tethering isn't. So it has to relaunch Lightroom Classic automatically into Rosetta. And as soon as you quit, it puts it back to M1 so that you can actually use the tethering feature. I can't wait till we get tethering native on the M1 so we don't have to do that dance. Okay, so there we are, holiday greeting. I already took 2 earlier test shots just to make sure everything was working. It's gonna put them in a folder on my hard drive. It's gonna name them Holiday Greeting 2023. They're gonna be shot in RAW because that's what I shoot. And it's gonna also put in my, my copyright metadata template. And I could do morning photography show as a keyword, holiday, greeting. So these are just random keywords I'm putting in that would apply to all the shots. Uh-oh, Victoria's coming up here. Just can't. Screen resolution is low. Okay. All right. Oh, hang on. I think I just got a heads up that the screen resolution is low. Let me see if I can fix that right quick. It shouldn't be, but it could be. Let's go in, check those settings. No, it's not low on my end anyway. So how's the Lightroom screen look to you guys? Oh yeah, I can see it looking low to you. On my end, it looks good though. I'm at 1920 by 1080. That's a first. Usually when that problem happens, it's because my capture is not at 1920, but it is in this case. All right, let me check one more settings. Canvas size is 1920. I don't know why that's not good. Oh, okay. People are saying it looks good. All right, Cody Bear said it looks good. Okay. All right. Well, that was just a temporary thing then. Okay, it is set to the right resolution. Thanks for warning me though. Okay, so let's go back to where we were. And let's go ahead and just say okay. Now, the camera's on. And I always make this point for people that are tethering, because it depends on which platform you're on. If you're on Nikon or Canon, there's a difference. If you're on Nikon, take your memory card out of the camera. If you leave the memory card in the camera and you have images on that memory card, when you go to tether, it's going to say it's connecting. It might take a minute. It might take 5 minutes. It might take whatever long amount of time it takes for Lightroom to check every single image on that card. Yep, there's an image. Yep, there's an image. Yep, there's an image. And if you got 1,000 of those, it has to do 1,000 times. So we just take the card out because it's not going to shoot to the card anyway. Canon's different. Canon will shoot to the card while the card's in the camera and while you're tethering. Nikon won't, so there's no reason to leave the card in the camera, take the card out. So it depends on your platform. Check your platform to make sure it can shoot to the card if you want to. If you don't want to shoot to the card, take the card out. Even if you can shoot to the card, make sure it's an empty card. So, because it's still going to do that dance, that check, no matter what platform you're on. So put an empty card in or take the card out, either way. All right, so now that we got it up there, it's letting me know that my settings are set at my standard defaults, 1/125th of a second, f5.6, ISO 100, auto white balance. I'm shooting raw. I can always adjust the white balance after, but we're good to go. So now I'm going to switch over to the camera and the settings, so therefore you can see the camera. And I'm going to walk over and just do a test shot. So I've got a remote trigger that I'm going to use. And my remote trigger is turned off. Let's make sure it's on. And let's make sure it's on the body. It is. Okay, I see it trying to focus, so it's working. And let me just walk over and do a test. All right, so that should take a picture of me. There's my test, so I can at least look at the lighting, look at where I'm standing. And let's go back to the camera, desktop, so you can see it. And there I am. Okay, so not a great model, but I can't help that today. I will zoom out a little bit, so I get a little bit more headroom and a little more foot room, because my feet are being cut off. My head is almost cut off. We don't want that, but everything else looks okay. I might bump up the light a little bit. So let's go ahead and crank up the power of the light by 1 stop. Okay, and again, if we go back to the camera settings, nothing changed on the camera, I just changed the light. And I also zoomed the camera out. So I just basically turned the zoom out so we can get more of the shot that way. All right, nailed it, job done. Again, we're just testing because I got a whole persona to put on. I got a whole outfit to put on for this. All right, so let's go back. Let's go back to the desktop and let's do another test. Did I do desktop? Yeah, there we go. Okay, another test. Okay. See what that looks like? Okay, cool. Now you can see me. You can see all of me, good or bad. You can see me, I'm there. Great, and so I got the height that I want. I got focus that I want. Okay, so now it's time. It's time, folks, because you can't do a holiday greeting without the traditional ugly Christmas sweater. And I've got mine. And I don't want to keep this thing on all day because it'll be hot. So let's go ahead, switch back to me for a second. I'm going to mute my microphone because I'm going to put this sweater on and I don't want it to rub against my mic. So I'm going to go silent for a second, step off camera, slide this on, come right back. Be right back. Okay, I should have audio back. And again, we're just testing. I would get a haircut, I'd shave, I'd do all that. So this is just a test, just to give you some ideas. But sweater's on now, and now we're gonna go shoot the real thing. Now, when you're doing a self-portrait like that, someone said smile, and you're right. Yep, you'd smile. You basically give it that greeting that you'd want to give on your card or your poster or your email or whatever it is. Also, the thing that you're going to do is probably be with your loved ones, your friends, your family, your significant other, whoever would also be in the shot. Put the pets in there too, because they're all part of the family. So you would do all of that. You might even do it in your living room, family room, sofa, wherever you normally spend your time. Next to the fireplace, next to the tree, next to the whatever it is you celebrate. So you would do all of those things. Now, since I'm going to cut the background out, that's why I'm going to go ahead and do it against just a white background. But if I were not going to cut the background out, then I would go set it up in an environment that I want it to be the background. All right, but keep in mind, we're going to shoot a different background for this as soon as I take this shot. And so if you are going to stand there by yourself, don't just stand there with your arms down to your side. Like, give some type of gesture, like hi, whatever it is. Even, or better yet, if you just can't figure out what to do with your hands, hold a prop, because a prop just makes it easier for you to do something with your hands. Also, if you are going to use a remote trigger, that's the tricky part, because this is a pretty big one. So it's kind of hard for you to just hold it in your hand and not show. So you might have the person whose hand is going to be down behind them or whatever actually press the button, or just keep in mind that you want to make the trigger either not shown or make it so it's so easy to remove that it's one click. Better to not show it though. All right, so let's grab a prop, because I don't have anything to do with my hands since it's just me. So I've got a nice ornament here, and that also will help me hide the remote, maybe, yeah, something like that. So we'll use that. Okay, again, we're just playing here, not being serious. This is not going to be the real one, because I wouldn't be doing it by myself. All right, but anyway, let's go here. Let's set you up so you can see it. Switch back to the desktop so you can see the tether. There we go. Back to the desktop, and let's go ahead and do it. All right. So keeping in mind that I got this globe, and let's go ahead and take the shot. Look at the camera, or look away, or look at the thing that you're going to composite yourself onto. All right, and again, this wouldn't be there, so you might do just this. You might be presenting this to your audience. Get this out of the way. Or you might just be about your sweater. I'm not going to be about the sweater. But anyway, do whatever it takes to get your personality across into the shot. Chin forward, chin up. And again, glasses, I would do a whole thing about the glasses, not getting the reflection at the right angle, but you get the idea. Okay. Ooh, glass reflection is not too bad, actually. Oh, but I see one problem. That foot being cut off. Let's go out a little bit more. And let's do a couple more. Not stick the foot out so far, or maybe step a little bit further back. And I'll look this time before I come forward. Let's check it. Oh yeah, perfect. Okay, great. Let's check that one. Okay, good. Foot's still in there, head's still in there. It's easy when they're free. Shoot, doesn't cost you anything. Okay, so we're going to use one of those. We don't know which one yet, but we're definitely going to, I don't know what happened to my computer just now. Hello, computer. Oh, that was weird. All right, anyway, we're going to use one of those. I don't know which one, but we're going to use one. Okay, and that's it. That's the shoot of me. So I'm going to put the prop down. I'm going to put the remote down. I'm going to cancel tethering for now. And Yeah, we'll probably use one of those. Great. I'm going to put the prop down. Don't need it anymore. And I'm definitely going to come out of this hot sweater. So once again, I'm going to go silent for a couple seconds just to pull the sweater off and not mess up the mic. And I'm back. All right, that was easy. Woo, sweating. All right, so now we got our hero shot. We got the shot of you, your family, your pets, whoever's going to be the main subject. Now we need the background. And we could just cheat. We could go into Photoshop now. We could generate a background. And that's not to say that we won't generate something today, but for the photographers out there that say, no, I don't want to generate, I want to shoot my own, we're going to shoot our own. All right, so with that said, now we're about to change the set. So, like I said, Victoria created this beautiful scene on a replica surface backdrop. I'm just going to move that into place. There we go. And bring it forward a little bit. And we're going to use the same light to light it. May have to make some adjustments. But there's our, let me show you the scene, show you what that looks like. That's what we're going to do. So it's basically just a table on a stand that rolls. And the replica surfaces have a bottom and a back. And you can swap them out. So whatever you want on the bottom, you can have on the bottom. Whatever you want on the back, you slide it into the back. You can even do the sides. So that's their studio table. All right, next up. Let's zoom in and get that one going. All right, make some adjustments on the camera. We can bring the camera closer. So everything else is where I want it to be. There we go. Perfect. Okay. All right, so I just moved the camera a little closer to it because I don't want to move the stand. The stand is where I want it to be. And let me show you the camera settings one more time. That's what it looks like in the viewfinder. And I can focus on any one thing. Kind of focus on that globe there. And again, I'm zoomed in all the way to 70. This is a 24 to 70 millimeter lens. I'm going to tilt up just a bit. I think that's going to be good right there. All right, let's take that shot, see what it looks like. Let's switch over to the desktop. All right, let's take the shot. Oh, we're not tethering because I turned tethering off. So let's go back. Tether capture, start tether capture. And you might say, well, why didn't you just leave it on? You're just going to shoot again. Because even just leaving it on between sets like that, set changes, is a drain on the camera batteries. So I don't want it on any longer than it needs to be. All right, so at the, I hit Command T to get rid of it. I can also go F for full screen so you can see it. And now we can go ahead and take that shot. Whoa, way too bright. So that's what I expected, because keep in mind, the light's much closer to the subject than it was when I was standing all the way in the back. So we're going to bring that light way down. So I'm on what Westcott calls 7.5. I'm going to drop it down to maybe 5. Let's bring it down like almost 2 stops, or a little over 2 stops. All right, let's try that. Better, looks good. Now also, I might bring it down some more, because although that backdrop has its own kind of shallow depth of field going on. This lens does all the way to, opens up to f2.8. So I might drop my aperture down some more. See what f2.8 looks like. Now, with that said, I might play around with the depth, meaning move some things closer. Like that's what I'm focused on. Move that closer. I love the fake snow. The fake snow is kind of cute. And just really play with that depth. All right, so once again, this is the new camera settings. f2.8, still 1/25th of a second, and of course ISO 100. So let's see what that looks like. Yeah, there we go. And you can see what I mean. So even the garland and stuff that's in the background that is physically there is now out of focus because of that f2.8 setting. So we're getting that real good shallow depth of field there. And I encourage you to use holiday lights. Use a string of lights, because then you get that bokeh effect when you bring the when you put the lights in the background out of focus. So we're gonna have some fun here. All right. So for example, I had a snowman here that kind of fell over, and maybe I'm gonna stand next to the snowman. Let's get the snowman in there, and now we're gonna focus on the snowman. All right, snowman's still not in focus the way I want. And it's probably because of my focus, the way I have it set up. Let's go in. Yep, that's why. Let's go to a spot focus. There we go. So what I did was I changed from a wide area focus to more of a pinpoint, so I could pinpoint the focus of the camera. So if you go back to the camera settings, you'll now see when I focus on the snowman, see that little green square? Can you see that? Yeah, you see it changing from red to green right on the snowman's face? Well, before I was on this. If I go to my focus settings, I was on a kind of a wide area autofocus, looking for eyes and looking for stuff like that. Well, that's a figurine. There's not going to be, it's not a person. It's not going to find the eyes on it. It's just too small. So that was putting too much of the area in focus. So just by switching my focus setting to more of a point focus, oops, I didn't change it. Point focus, there we go. Now I can literally move this around, this little square around, and pinpoint anything that I want to be focused or in focus. So there we go. Now it's right on the snowman. Let's switch back. Bokeh, just making sure, I'm just checking the comments here. Hey David, hey Craig. Did I lose audio? No, I see my audio. You should be able to hear me. I'm sure a lot more people would have complained if they couldn't. Let's go ahead and go back to the desktop. And let's try that. And once again, so now, because I focused on the snowman, even that gold globe that's in front is becoming out of focus. And to a certain degree, the snow globe is becoming out of focus, because I'm saying this part's in focus, everything forward and everything behind it is out of focus. So that's the way depth of field works when your lens can be wide open. So same thing, if I move it to, let's say, the gold globe, the golden globe, and take that shot, now the golden globe is in focus and the snowman is out of focus. So you can really get in there and control what's in focus, as long as you got good glass to do it with. And when I say good, just something that you can shoot more wide open than like f4 or 5. And let me take my articulating screen and pull it out so I can see better. Okay, I think we got it. I think we got a good background to work with. Certainly have a few choices there. And those are all in Lightroom right next to the shots of me. So we can get in there and now have some fun. Now, just before I'm just like making sure I don't forget anything. Before I wrap up, there are some other props here as well. So just adding a few more props to the scene. And there's a clock here. I don't know if I'm going to get the clock to stand up. Oh, maybe if I do it the right way, it will. Yeah, the clock's really slippery. Oh, the clock's slippery. Oh, you know what? That works. It can be kind of leaning back in the shot. Let's try it again. Yeah, the clock's kind of laying down. I don't like where the green thing is. I add it, so let's put the green one over here with the rest. That's better. And let me see if I can stand that clock up just a little bit more. It is just not cooperating. All right, we're not going to get that to stand unless we put something. Oh, whoa! I got it! I got it! I got it! Don't touch! Don't breathe! Don't think! Don't move! I got it to stand up. Put the focus back on the snowman. I got it to stand. I don't like the glare in it though, but I did get it to stand. All right, so the glare is being picked up from the light that's right above it. Other than that, at this point, I just pull it because I don't like the glare. So it's not adding anything to the shot. It's just giving me a problem. So if I could get it to where there was no glare or little glare, yep, I'm just going to pull it out and replace the snow because it's not adding enough value to be able to fix the glare. Much better. I know I got glare in the snow globe. That's easier to deal with. But when it's that clock and those numbers and everything, that was a whole different ballgame. All right, I think we got what we need. We can move on. Can't wait to see what you do with this hand orange or covering eyes. I can't wait to see what I do with it here. Okay, so with that said, we got hero shots, we got background shots. Let's go ahead and just start putting something together. See what we get just with a couple of clicks. All right, so I'm going to jump out of full screen. And since this was the last one we took, I'm going to right click. I would normally just do Command E, but I just want to show it to you in the menu. Right click, edit in Photoshop. So that will take a copy of the raw. Oh, you know what? I didn't even make any adjustments to it. Hang on. Let's get out of that for a second. Close that. Don't save. I didn't do my due diligence by taking it into Lightroom's develop module first and making some adjustments. All right. So first and foremost, I'm going to do Adobe Vivid for my profile. The next thing I'm going to do, let me turn this camera on me more just a little bit because we're going to spend some more time at the computer here. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and look at the white balance on this shot. I guess it's okay. Yeah, so it's okay. Because this background was white paper that's turning gray because it's not lit. That's fine. I can bring up the vibrance a little bit more in this shot because it's not no human skin in it. And I can also, yeah, I'm pretty cool with it. I would crop it, obviously, but we don't need to do that yet. Let's go in. Okay, so we got that shot. Let's go ahead and edit it in Photoshop. You could either right click or you could do Command E, PC, Control E, and that will take that shot in. Okay, so now we need the shot of me. Let's go ahead and, I don't know, that one maybe. Not that one. Not that one. Oh, wait. I could live with that. All right, we'll do that one. So same thing, develop. Again, we're just playing, so I'm not going to be totally critical of myself in the shot. So I did Adobe Portrait, and we did do the auto tone. We did the auto, we're doing auto tone now. And yeah, there's not a whole lot more I can do with it here, or that I want to do with it here. All right, so let's go ahead and take that in. So again, Command E. So that's going to open up a second window. And you could also select shots in Lightroom, 2 or more shots, and open them as layers in Photoshop or smart objects in Photoshop. So that's going to go ahead and give me that one shot of everything. I'm going to take this shot, grab my move tool, drag it up to the tab that is the background, pull it into the background and let go. So basically that put me in the background on my own layer. So there I am on my own layer, background behind me, and you know where I'm going next with this, remove background. So there's a remove background button right in the properties panel. What this does is it does a select subject and a mask. That's all it does. If you want better remove background or better selections, then go ahead and do select subject and take it into the select and mask workflow, especially if you're working with hair, especially if you're trying to get a better selection. All right, but I think I should be good with remove back. Well, at least I'm going to see one way or the other. Remove background. Yeah, like I said, I expected it to be pretty good, but that's pretty darn good. So, this is actually not bad for just faking it. Let's see. So I might go in, and of course, perspective is everything. So I might bring myself down a bit. There we go. I don't want to be a giant amongst the trees and everything. I might bring myself down a little bit more. Now, there's all kinds of things we need to deal with when you're compositing a person or a thing into another background. The first thing I looked at, the first thing I saw that, of course, was going to bug me was shoes, feet, shadows, all of that. So, in other words, it looks like you put a person on the background that's not blended into the background at the bottom where the feet are the way I would expect it. So there's got to be some kind of shadow, something going on there to make it actually look real. All right. And perspective depends greatly on our point of view. That's right. Okay, so I'm going to leave it there for now. So I just basically told it yes, okay with the size. Now, the other thing we can do is we can crop it, obviously, if you just want to, because these replica surfaces are square. And if you want a square greeting, crop it, you're done. But if you want a wider shot, we can use crop and then use generative expand to expand it out. So, 2 things. Number 1, you can see the snow doesn't cover the table, especially in the front, and it doesn't cover it on the side. So I'm going to use the crop tool anyway. So let's go ahead and use crop. Let's make sure there's nothing in the ratio that's constraining us. So we just pull in the sides, just like that. All right, great. The sides are in. And there we go. And in this case, normally I would say you don't want to delete your crop pixels unless you want to change your mind. But I do want to delete my crop pixels because I want to use generative expand. I don't want it getting confused when I'm trying to uncrop, just putting back what was there. So I am going to go ahead and delete crop pixels in this case. Okay, so great. Now again, I could be totally fine with this. This looks awesome the way it is. If I do say so myself, just need to fix the feet. But otherwise, it looks pretty good. couple things, like I just want to show your options, because again, that's what this is all about, teaching you what you can do, different options, different things you can play with. So for example, I might go into the crop tool, once again, click, and this time instead of just using the background, I am going to use generative expand, and I can say, hey, I need this to be wider, because maybe I'm going to put some stuff on the sides. I don't know, just again, a test. And if I do use generative expand, we can go ahead and see what that will generate. So this is using the generative AI engine built into Photoshop Firefly, and it's deciding what those sides should look like. And we'll give it a few seconds to do that. And cool. It gave me more stuff on the sides, making it look more real. I love this. All right, so this is cool. All right, next up. Let's go back to the background. And on the background, I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to see what I can do about this reflection. And see what I meant by the snowman's in focus. And now you can really see how the feet don't look right, because it just looks like you pasted this image on. So if at a minimum, mask the feet so they look like they're in the snow. At a minimum, do that. But we'll get to that in a second. All right, so we're on the background. We're going to go ahead and just make a lasso selection around this little reflection thing, this little doohickey here, this little glare that came from the strobe. And we're going to say just generative fill, no prompt. We're going to see if it can fill it in. Now there's a tree behind it, so I don't know what it's going to do with the tree, but let's see what happens. It's either going to remove it or it's going to put something else there. Oh, good, it removed it. Perfect, great. Saved me a lot of time. All right, and that's that. All right, so that gave me my generative fill reflection gone. So now let's go and deal with the feet that are bugging me, because they're going to continue to bug me until I deal with them, until I address them. So like I said, at a minimum, we're going to go to my layer, which is that one. I'm going to call that the TW layer. All right, on the TW layer, and just make sure we got everything. These are already named generative fill, generative expand, great. On the TW layer, there's already a mask, because remember I said it's going to select subject and create a mask. So it already put a mask there. You can just use the existing mask. So I'm going to click on that existing mask. I'm going to go to my brush so that it's non-destructive. Make sure I'm on black paint, and make sure my brush is nice and soft, because I want to kind of just blend my feet into the snow, like so. So it doesn't look like it's so pasted on, especially here. None of this should look like it should look like my feet are in the snow, like the rest. All the rest look like the snow is above everything else on the ground. So why would my feet be on top of the snow? There, that looks better. Now, of course, again, there's not a whole lot of need for shadows, because if you look at the snowman, there's not really casting the shadow based on the way it was lit, but you could paint some shadows in too. Now, if you ever did too much, you could always switch back to white and unmask if you thought you masked an area that shouldn't be masked. All right, there we go. Looking good. All right, next up, I want to put a holiday greeting, some text above it. So when I put this text above it, I could use Photoshop text. We can always type into Photoshop. But I want to go in and generate something in Firefly. So let me grab a browser here. Pull a browser window down. All right, there's my browser window. Let's expand that out. And let's go to firefly.adobe.com. And there it is. Now, Firefly is where it all started back in March, earlier this year. And then, of course, the Firefly generative fill came into Photoshop. So you don't have to go to the website to do it. But one of the things that was a part of Firefly is the text effects. And that's still not in Photoshop. So if I want to do text effects, I got to come here and do it. So text effects, sign in. Really? You're going to make me sign in? All right, I'm signed in now. Great. Okay, so enter the text that you want it to be. So this could be Happy Holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever it is, Happy Kwanzaa, whatever your thing is, type in your text. We'll keep it generic for now because it is early. Happy holidays, because there are multiple holidays going on. And now that I got my holiday, now I know what the text is going to say, I need to describe what it's going to look like. So, do I want the happy holidays in lights? Do I want it in garland? Do I want it in icicles? Do I want it in, there was one more thing I was thinking of. Garland, icicles, candy canes. That was the other one. So, give me a couple prompts in the text there of how you want the text described, and I'll give you a couple seconds to do that. And that way we'll make it interactive. We'll let you describe what the text is going to look like. So again, we already know what it's going to say. We're now describing what it's going to look like. So I'll give you an example. We're going to change it to yours, but I'll give you an example. Candy canes. So just typing in candy canes will give me some happy holidays. It looks like, see, I already like that. So I would be good with that. But you tell me what you want. Christmas lights and candy canes. Okay, we'll change that. But let's say I like this one. I do. So before I change it, and there's 4 variations of it, by the way. So there's this one. All the suggestions are coming in now. This one, oh, gifts. That's another good one. Who said that? Rita said gifts. That's a good one. So anyway, these are just different variations to pick from. Now, because I really like the first one, actually. Because I like the first one, and I'm going to change it to yours. We'll try different variations of yours. I'm going to go ahead and save mine first. So I'm going to hit download so that it downloads this ping file transparent so I can drop it into Photoshop. All right, so now we got mine out of the way. What was the first one I saw? I saw Christmas lights and candy canes. Okay, so let's do Christmas lights and candy canes. Generate. See what that one looks like. I may like yours better. Yeah, the Christmas lights aren't that many. I see them. It's like 1 or 2 lights per letter, 2 or 3 lights per letter. All right. How about lots of Christmas lights and candy canes? Let's see what that's for. Let's see what that does. Okay, still not getting a lot. How about string of Christmas lights? Someone said that, I think, near the last comment. String of Christmas lights and candy canes. Yeah, there we go. Get more lights on it now. I can see that. So I'll download this copy too. And then we'll try another prompt. All right. Next one was snow covered. So let's do snow covered. Oh, by the way, there were multiple options of that. So I didn't go through them all. Because a lot of times the first one may not be the best one. So this one actually looks more like string lights. So actually I like this one better than the first one. So we'll let that one finish. We'll grab that one too, download. And just don't forget to check all your variations because you might like one better than the first. And that second one so far is my winner. Let's look what the third one looks like. Yeah, the second one. I'm not even going to go any further. All right, so second one, we already got it. Let's go ahead and do, where did you type it? I typed it on firefly.adobe.com in text effects in the prompt at the bottom. So behind my face. Let's see, can I move me? No, I can't move me. So here, I'll move it over a little bit so you can see it. See that? See where it says prompt down there at the bottom? That's where I'm typing. Okay, let's go in and I saw one there. There was one earlier. Snow covered. I want to see what that looks like. Snow covered. Because that could be kind of cool. Snow covered. Yeah, I'm digging that. And again, I got 4 choices. That was choice number 3. Let's see what choice number 1 looks like. And you can do as many of these generations as you want. It's not even hitting your generative credits right now, because generative credits don't start until after the first of the year. So you literally have unlimited use of this. And even after the first of the year with generative credits, you won't be stopped, but you have unlimited use of this at full speed. All right, we'll get in a couple more, and then we'll go ahead and put the text in. All right, I kind of like that third one the best. All right, we'll go with that one, and let's get a couple more prompts in, and then we'll head over. We did snow cover. Oh, cookies. How about Christmas cookies? Because otherwise it's just going to be regular cookies. Or gingerbread. Somebody said gingerbread. Let's do that one. Gingerbread cookies. There, we killed two birds with one stone. Gingerbread and cookies. Or do I need to say gingerbread men and cookies? Or gingerbread people and cookies? Yeah, let's do that. That's actually not bad. Let's go ahead and download that one. Gingerbread family cookies. All right, let's see what that does. Grinch. You can try that. Now, again, if Grinch is a character, meaning something that is copyrighted, it's not going to know what that is, because we don't have any copyrighted info in the database. Not happy with that one. How about this one? All right, let me just try. I think family might be just a little too much. Gingerbread man. I just want to see if it does what I think it's going to do. I can't tell. Let me zoom in. Yeah, those are cute. All right, I can live with that. And one more. Let's do one more from the screen, from the prompt. Gingerbread house. We could try that too. Well, while we're already here, we'll do gingerbread house. We'll look at, and we'll still do one more. Gingerbread house. Generate. Oh, I spelled house wrong. House. And try it again. Now, keep in mind, I like the gingerbread house. Yes, that's the winner. That's my favorite so far of the gingerbread series. All right, I like that one a lot. Okay, keep in mind, you also have different text. You can put it on a different background color. So you have different fonts to choose from. And so if I just change the font and generate, then it's just going to give me that different font. But it should still give me the same kind of results. Oh, I'm digging that a lot. Good call on the gingerbread house. All right. Please move your answer. Text you type. All right. Are you still not seeing the text I'm typing? It's literally right here. I can see it, so you should be able to see it. It's right here, down here at the bottom. This is the text I'm typing. Right here. See? I'll zoom in. That's the text I'm typing. So I'm not in the way of it. It's right there. All right. I don't know if I downloaded that one or not, but let's go ahead and make sure I downloaded it. And I'm also calling it out. I'm not typing anything extra. Gingerbread house, gingerbread man, cookies, snow. Those are the same words. Same words I said is what I'm typing. Nothing extra. Okay, so now that we got those in place, let's go ahead and drop one of those in or see what they look like. So those download to your downloads folder, wherever you download things to. So I go to downloads. There they all are. And even if you forgot what you typed, the prompt is in the title of the file. So if I drag one of these on now, oh, sorry. If I drag one of those on now, there we go. It'll pop it into Photoshop, and it's not on the top layer, so that's why it's being cropped off. There we go. And of course, you can scale it down and put it wherever you want. and you can do further Photoshop things to it because it's just a graphic in Photoshop now. All right, so that's one. We can turn that layer on and off. Let's go try another one of the earlier ones with the candy canes. Let's drop that one in. And we're out of time, but I'm going to drop one or two more in real quick. You decide which one you like best. All right. And one more. Let's see what else we got. We did that. We did that. Snow. We didn't do the snow. So we'll drop the snow in now. Snow covered. So there's our snow covered. Happy holidays. And you know what? Even though I really, really like the gingerbread, this one kind of matches the rest of the shot. So with that said, folks, we did it. We shot a holiday greeting in camera, generated a couple of things, made the background a little wider, fixed the reflection, and that is it. We're going to call it a day. Cheers, everyone. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next show here on Adobe Live. Bye, everybody.